Something big is happening on your screen. Introducing VOP TV. Now streaming on SLTV channel 264. From breaking news to captivating conversations, news analysis, giving you all sides to the story. We bring in-depth discussions on the issues that matter, from politics to sports, entertainment, and lifestyle. VOP TV on SLTV channel 264. Join us as we redefine what television means to you. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice.
Good evening, Africa. My name is Bamakore, actor, model, producer, and I'm giving a big shout out to VOP TV, man. Keep watching. Don't change the dial. Thank you and God bless you.
My name is AY, and of course, I represent the voice of the people, and that's why I'm on VOP. AY say so.
Hi everyone, it's your girl Miriam Tima from the Real Housewives of Lagos and the Real Housewives Ultimate Girl Trip Africa. Shout out to VOP, the voice of the people. You already know. Stay tuned, keep watching. And don't forget, VOP is the best.
All right, hello, it's about that Shaggy, the man from back with Melanie Poppy Black Skin Boy. This is VOP TV. If you're not watching VOP, I don't know what you're watching. Maybe you're watching your weight.
Hello, beautiful people. This is Wale Ojo, and you're watching VOP, Voice of the People.
Hi, guys, you already know who it is. This is New Energy. Flyers, whatever, live it. Keep watching VOP TV. Thank you.
Hi people, Jenny Albano here. Guys, please keep watching Voice of the People.
Do you want your voice to be heard? Do you know that you matter in the scheme of things? The People's Voice, the show where ordinary citizens take center stage as we discuss the biggest stories that affect you and I. With you in mind, we facilitate lively discussions, debates, and interviews on the topics that matter most to you and I, from social justice to economic empowerment, education to healthcare, governance, and more, tackling tough topics and amplifying your voice. Join the conversation and make your voice count. The People's Voice. Make your voice count. VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice. The Ariaria International Market is an open-air market located in Aba, a city in Abia State in southwest Nigeria. The market is one of the largest markets in West Africa and nicknamed China of Africa because of its versatility in the making of wares and leatherworks. Ariaria International Market was established in 1976 following a fire outbreak that destroyed the old Ekeoha market in Aba. The market was originally sited in a swampy area. The market is known for its shoemaking and leatherworks, thus making it one of the largest leather shoemaking markets in West Africa, with an estimated 2 million traders. For more than 2 decades, the market has serviced clients home and abroad. Manufacturers in the market boast that their clientele base extends beyond the shores of Africa. The market cuts across 3 local government areas: the Aba North, Aba South, and Osisioma. Ariaria International Market, with an annual turnover of over $3 billion, as recorded in 2018, is a reseller's market where you can buy wholesale cheaply and even have your desired products designed and produced to your own exact specifications. There are a variety of businesses across the market, which includes sales of fabrics, shoemaking and sales, pharmaceutical supplies, hair salon materials, salons, general household goods, and so many others. The Ariaria market has a total of 37,000 shops.
In a world where power shifts with every headlines, news breaks and events happens, we bring you unbiased and explicit information on politics, economy, and state of the nation. We break down the chaos. Facts, not fluff. Truth, not spin. We discuss not just politics, but a glade more than a voice.
Are you ready for the extraordinary? Something big is happening on your screen. Introducing VOP TV. Now streaming on SLTV channel 264. From breaking news to captivating conversations, news analysis, giving you all sides to the story. We break in-depth discussions on the issues that matter, from politics to sports, entertainment, and lifestyle. VOP TV on SLTV channel 264. Join us as we redefine what television means to you. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice.
Welcome to the locker room, the home of football talk that matters. I am Jerry Arpillon. Join us every weekday, Monday to Friday at 5 p.m. Nigerian time, as we share the hot takes and hot debates in the exciting world of football. And joining me are the usual suspects, Ikechukwu and Mayowa, as we break down all the hot takes and everything that's happening in the football. Don't just watch football, live it with us. Catch us on the locker room and Voice of the People Television at 5 p.m. Nigerian time. And like I always say, if not 20 minutes off, with the sport.
And it's Hakim Ziyech who puts the
Lagos State is stepping up efforts to ensure every resident has access to affordable health care with the formal inauguration of the Lagos State Health Scheme Enforcement Team. The move marks the beginning of full implementation of Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu's executive order, making enrollment on the Ileriaco Social Health Insurance Scheme mandatory. Officials say the policy is designed to end out-of-pocket spending that has often forced families into financial hardship during medical emergencies. The head of service, Olabode Agoro, says enforcement will begin within ministries, departments, and agencies before extending to local governments and private sectors.
A strategic engagement with heads of agencies was convened on the 11th of December 2025 to secure institutional ownership of the executive order and ensure alignment across government MDAs. The engagement was facilitated by the Parastatals Monitoring Office, and it provided a unified platform to clarify expectations, harmonize approaches, and build a common understanding enforcement framework.
He adds that such civil servants must now present proof of enrollment during monthly staff audits, with salaries at risk for those who fail to comply.
For any staff, the salary will be withheld.
At the federal level, the Director General of the National Health Insurance Authority, Dr. Kelechi Ohire, praised Lagos for aligning with the national drive for health sector reform, describing insurance as a key tool in preventing what he calls health poverty.
When I heard that today the enforcement team was going to be inaugurated, I decided to fly into Lagos this morning, not just to witness it, but also to offer our support and solidarity as we move this forward.
Officials of the Lagos State Management Agency say the scheme offers a range of plans, including options for senior citizens and residents in the diaspora, to ensure inclusivity and sustainability. The state government says enforcement team will operate with professionalism as Lagos moves closer to achieving universal health coverage. I am Monica Okolo, reporting for VOP TV.
VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice.
In a world where power shifts with every headline,
In a nation full of questions,
in a world filled with noise, the truth needs a voice.
The policies that shapes our world and the economy that determines our future.
every hour, every day. The grapevine keeps buzzing.
And together, we are committed to telling the stories that shape our world because your voice is our focus.
Don't forget, our voice matters the most. Let us come together and share our concerns.
VOP TV. Now, you have more than a voice.
Forget, VOP is the best.
All right, hello, how are you? But that's shaking the man fine back with Melanie Poppy Black Skin Boy. This is VOP TV. If you're not watching VOP, I don't know why you're watching. Maybe you're watching your weight.
Hello, beautiful people. This is Wale Ojo, and you're watching VOP, Voice of the People.
Hi guys, you already know who it is. This is New Energy. Flyers whatever live. Keep watching VOP TV. Thank you.
Hi, people. Ginny Albano here. Guys, please keep watching Voice of the People.
I mean, this has been I think it's going to be one of the longest, sporting week in African history because lots of drama is actually unfolding from Nigeria's, petition against DR Congo to the big one that actually happened 3 days ago, where CAF eventually overturned the winner of the just concluded AFCON 2025 championship. Which was Senegal, and now it's actually Morocco. Over 2 months that actually happened, and lots of conversation, in between that one. People have been talking about it and how or why it should be, overturned. But of course, on that note, I'm welcoming you to a very, very wonderful edition of Sport Republic this morning. I'm Ikechukwu Aguagu. I definitely will be starting with that particular big story that concerns, the overturn or the verdict from, the Judicial Committee of CAF. As Senegal government has actually called for investigation into corruption into CAF. Now, everyone actually expected this to actually happen because it's actually a very, very big topic. The Senegalese government, in fact, there are even reports that after CAF actually overturned the verdict and gave it to Morocco based off, certain rules and clauses in the CAF constitution, decided, the verdict actually went to Senegal because Morocco, because Senegal actually cited Article 82 and 84 of the constitution of the CAF. Of course, that is actually very, very big when it comes to what happens on the field. And then the Senegalese government eventually actually there are reports that they've actually moved the trophy down to the military base in Senegal, and it's more like a call off. If you want to actually get the trophy, come to our military barracks to actually get it. And Senegalese government also have actually refused to actually leave, hand over the trophy and the medals. I mean, lots of Senegalese players have actually been going on air to actually, give snide remarks about how, these guys can actually come to get it. Algeria also jumped on it and say, hey, we are, they jumped on this particular trend, and then they put up the photo of Sadio Mane and say, yes, that's the man on your screen. They put up the picture of Sadio Mane and say the AFCON trophy is actually earned, not won in the boardroom. And also the Super Eagles, the official handle of Super Eagles also didn't actually leave this particular conversation. They also jumped on it and posted the picture of Super Eagles winning the AFCON 2013 when they said, you know what? This is actually a trophy that we earned. And you remember that picture where Onazi and Mikel Obi, all of them jump on, they hold the trophy, Joseph Yobo. That's how beautiful, that was. And, there's nothing as sweet as you deserving a trophy. You work so hard for it. And for me, on what we saw in that pitch of play, that particular day, Senegal actually did a good job to actually deserve it. But then, beyond all of that, beyond all of the emotions, I think they also have a part in all of this, thing that actually played out, and it's actually playing out, against them at the moment. But, 60 days after it was overturned and Morocco now are champions, I don't know how Morocco is definitely going to be, soaking this up because, this same thing they actually, benefiting from. They also actually did, almost something similar, in the 70s. But I mean, that's not even the crux of the conversation. I just hope that in the end, they can actually find a resolution. But amidst this whole big conversation, former World Football of the Year, former European Football of the Year, former African Football of the Year, and former president of, the country, Liberia. I'm talking about none other than, George Weah. George Weah was actually very furious. There were conversations about him actually jumping on it and say, hey, Senegal actually didn't deserve to, win the Nations Cup because he left the field. And people were like, George Weah, you cannot be saying this. And the big man now said, hey, there was never a time I said it. I don't talk so, I go talk that kind of thing. I play football now, I know what it means. I mean, these guys were part of the players that actually did so well in France back in the days. And of course, he understood what it means to actually, he went to AC Milan to also play, his career before. Of course, he played in Chelsea at some point too. And for him to actually come out and say, hey, this does not make any sense. And when this man actually jumped on this particular thing, there are lots of things he actually said. And he cited it because it's actually a huge rumor. And players like George Weah, these are the main figure who actually needs to actually come up and speak to this sort of conversation. And one thing he said, and I'm going to actually tell you exactly what George Weah said, of course, surrounding the controversy and decision of Confederation of African Football, to strip Senegal of the 2025 African Cup of Nations title, as continue to draw mixed reactions across African continent. And in the statement issued exactly 3 days ago by CAF, cited Article 82 and 84 of the African Cup of Nations regulations to determine the conduct of Senegal national team, which warranted, severe penalty. Now, in the final in Rabat, that we actually saw was stopped by over 15 minutes as Senegal players actually protested the decision to award Morocco a penalty with only a few, minutes remaining. Now, George Weah actually said, he really, really condemns this decision by Confederation of African Football to withdraw, the 2025 African Cup of Nations from Morocco. And in his word, he said, CAF regulations are in line with the FIFA laws of the game, which provide that the referee has full authority to enforce the laws of the game in connection with the match to which he has been appointed. And this decision on his facts is final. In the present case of the final match between Senegal and Morocco, the referee allowed the match to continue after the walk-off by Senegal, and the game was completed, including extra time, with a result obtained on the pitch. The 25th president of Liberia further said the referee's report from the final never raised any queries about the game, nor did it recommend any sanction. Additionally, post-match, the referee noted a stoppage during the match, not a forfeiture, and recommended appropriate sanction for the infractions during the match. Added, of course, and he also said, for this reason, the subsequent decision by CAF committee taken at the match had already been concluded should not override the authority exercised by the referee during the game in keeping with the laws of the game. He added, football must be decided on the pitch, not re-decided after the final whistle. There is therefore no sporting justification to nullify a match that was completed in accordance with the referee's authority and the laws of the game. Otherwise, the beautiful game will head down to a slippery slope where committee room officials and not match officials will be making post-match rulings to override referees on field decisions like penalties, offside, and red card. Now, Weah also said that this decision has further scared blemish African football, undermining confidence in the fairness, consistency, and integrity of football on the continent. And George Weah also, he also said that he calls on the call of arbitration of sports and other relevant authorities to move decisively so that this travesty does not stand. And he concluded by saying, I also want to use the opportunity to clarify social media posts widely circulating, claiming that I support the decision by CAF disciplinary committee against Senegal is blatantly false. Now, all those circulating my image, and attaching the same to such fallacious statements are advised to refrain. Senegal captain Khalid Koulibaly has maintained the West African nation will not be in position to relinquish the trophy despite rulings. Now, this exactly, is the words of, this African legend. And I mean, not just him, Samuel Eto'o also jumped on this particular trend, saying this does not even make any sense. Aston Villa's legend also jumped on this. I'm talking about Nigoro Kuka. He also jumped on this trend, saying this does not make sense. Our own Mutiu Adepoju also jumped, on this trend, and it's so sad that we're having this conversation. And yes, I just got a report that my guest Abiodun Akpeno is actually live with us. Abiodun, good morning and welcome to Sport Republic Show. Abiodun, unmute your audio. Good morning. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Absolutely, I can hear you.
Okay, absolutely. I mean, Abiodun, there's a big story. You know, you want to say fire on the mountain. Lots of, troubles for us here in Africa to deal with at this point. CAF just overturned, Senegal and then make Morocco the champions of this particular tournament. When you first saw this particular news, what first came to mind?
Well, I think a whole lot has been drama. I think it was was it on Wednesday? Yes, I think it was on Wednesday.
Yeah.
I was watching the UEFA Champions League, and after all said and done, one of my colleagues sent the link to me. At some point, I couldn't believe. I was like, this is fake news. But then, in the morning, it was all over the media. It was all over the dailies, and everybody were talking about it, saying, oh, this is the new development from CAF and all of that. But then, if you have to look at, the pros and cons of this particular story, this particular verdict from the CAF committee, I think this is, unreasonable for me. It is really too extreme as far as I'm concerned, because the whole world saw Senegal won the African Cup of Nations. And as at that time, if you look at what transpired on the field of play in that final, Sadio Mane and maybe a few other guys also, I think the likes of Idrissa Gueye, the Everton midfielder, were on the field of play trying to, call the players back on the field of play. It would have made sense if the referee in that game has actually, ruled in favor of the Moroccan national team, because if you walk off the pitch at least for 10 minutes and the referee decided to make a statement, then the game will be awarded to Morocco. But the referee failed to do all of that, and the game went on. The game was actually concluded. You all saw how Senegal was being crowned the champion. They were given medals and all of that. And 3 months to the success of the African Cup of Nations, Senegal winning that on, CAF coming out to say Senegal forfeited the game and all of that. So it doesn't make sense to the whole world. It doesn't make sense to Africans. It doesn't make sense to, a whole lot of us that saw that game and felt like, okay, in as much as you want to, condemn whatever Senegal did in that game. But then the game went on. They won that game. And now CAF is saying, okay,
but Abiodun, the case for Morocco here is that, according to Article 82 of that particular law, right, that any player, any team that actually walk off the field, right, that team has actually given ground for future, right? And then Article 84 also stated that it's going to be 3-0. But then when they actually, took their petition to CAF, the report of the match officials stated clearly that there was an infraction and an appropriate, sanction should be, awarded. Now, it is not the referee's place now to award an appropriate sanction.
Yeah.
Right. So it is the job of the people outside the field, the judicial committee or the people managing CAF to actually decide what the appropriate sanction. Now, in this case, you and I know that the sanction, for leaving the field is actually for future.
Absolutely. I agree with you. I agree with the law of the game. You cannot change the rules. You cannot change the rules of the game. But then you have to go back to that game again. Sadio Mane, trying to convince the guys to come back to the field of play. That game went on. They won the African Cup of Nations. Now, let's come back to, some of the punishments. The coach talking about Papetiao, was giving some of the Senegalese players also were giving some sort of punishment. So what about all of that? Where are we going to put all of those punishments? So if we are talking about, oh, at the end of the game, the official must have written down, some sort of, match report at the end of the game, submitted to CAF, then Morocco felt like, okay, we've been cheated in this particular tournament. We felt we could have won, but you go back again, had it been a certain Brian Diaz scored that penalty, what would be the reaction of the Moroccans or the Moroccan FA? So all of this is truded in the favorism a whole lot of people have been complaining about. And if you remember, at the beginning of the African Cup of Nations, a certain Ghana draw came out to say, see, we know we are a small country. We know we are a small footballing nation. This particular Morocco they are being favored. You look at the officiating, you look at all of that, but people are not, paying attention to all of that. They felt like, okay, Genetro is being, is being overboard. Then Cameroon came out to, to talk all about this. Zambia also spoke about that also. I think 4 nations or thereabouts spoke about the fact that Morocco are being favored in the African Cup of Nations. So if you put all of that together, I would just suppose with whatever happened after the African Cup of Nations, with the the committee coming out to say, oh, Senegal forfeited that game, so the African Cup of Nations trophy is handed to Morocco. Come on, it is overboard for me. It's just unprecedented. But then, according to what has been going on from the camp of Senegal, they are saying they are going to take all of this to the court of arbitration. And I want to believe they are going to win if they have a good case. But trust me, Africans will never, recognize Morocco as the champion of the African Cup of Nations.
Absolutely. We'll await what the result of, the Court of Arbitration for Sport will say about this particular matter, because not just Africa, the whole world is very keen, interested in this particular one, because what happens here is going to be a precedent going forward. But let's quickly jump straight to the news concerning the Super Eagles, 4-nation tournament, and all of the players that actually were invited by Richel. We saw new players, gotten their very first call, the likes of Yerasol,
Welcome to the locker room, the home of football talk that matters. I am Jerry Arpillon. Join us every weekday, Monday to Friday at 5 p.m. Nigerian time, as we share the hot takes and hot debates in the exciting world of football. And joining me are the usual suspects, Ikechukwu and Mayowa, as we break down all the hot takes and everything that's happening in the football. Don't just watch football, live it with us. Catch us on the locker room and Voice of the People television at 5 p.m. Nigerian time. And like I always say, if not 20 minutes off, please
This is African News on Voice of the People television, where we don't just bring you the news, we bring you Africa's heartbeats, the policies that shapes our world, and the economy that determines our future. African News on Voice of the People television. Stay with us.
My name is Tao Familoni, and here's to VOP TV. Keep watching, stay tuned, do not touch that dial.
My name is Made Kuti, and you're watching VOP TV. Keep watching.
Welcome, my name is Zika Davis. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, boys, viewers, everybody, boys and girls. This is VOP TV. Do you know what that means? Voice of the People TV. You don't have a voice, don't come here. You better make sure your voice is heard.
we encourage you to click on the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are Voice of the People TV. Also follow us on all our social media platforms. We are at VOP TV Live. Visit our website www.vop.ng for fresh and trending news. Also watch us live on SLTV channel 264. VOP TV, Voice of the People Television.
Join us as we drive into the world of politics through insightful interviews with prominent political figures, both serving and former governors, ministers, senators, legislators, party chieftains, activists, and analysts. Get first-hand information into the decision-making processes that affect our daily lives. Highly engaging one-hour program that brings political discourse into focus.
I am Chukwuma Okoro.
Political Lens, Monday through Friday, 6 to 7 p.m. Join us. In a world where truth is the ultimate power and opinions scream the loudest, it's time to wade through the noise.
Hunger no get tribe. Hunger no get religion.
And scan the human interest and trending topics that matter. Stay tuned to The Issues, your plug to the stories making the buzz, from politics to science and technology, social justice, and more. Let's tackle the tough questions and expose the truth. The Issues, on Voice of the People Television, Mondays to Fridays, 8 to 9 p.m. The Issues. Don't just react, understand. The Agungu Fishing Festival, or Agungu Dance Festival, is an annual 4-day festival in Kebbi State and other northern states like Niger and the northwestern part of northern Nigeria. The region is made up of fertile river areas of Matamfada, Mala, with much irrigation and orchards, Lambu in Hausa. The majority of the inhabitants are fishermen. They also have Kanta Museum. The museum is the main historical center in Agungu for visitors across the globe. People from around the world travel to Agungu just to witness the occasion. The main purpose of the Agungu Fishing Festival is for fishing and unity. The festival is usually a 4-day cultural event. The festival began in the year 1934 as a mark of the end of the century-old hostility between the Sokoto Caliphate and the Kebbi Kingdom. This festival has brought huge progress to the development of the state as a whole. It is usually called a fishing frenzy festival. The festival is celebrated to mark the beginning of the fishing season in Agungu, a riverside town in Kebbi State. It's celebrated between February and March every year. In 2005, the winning fish weighed 75 kilograms and needed 4 men to hoist it onto the scales. In 2006, the festival banned fishing due to safety concerns relating to the low water levels. The importance of the festival to the economy has led the government to conserve fish stock by prohibiting the use of gill nets and cast nets. The Ziro Polder project, an irrigation scheme in the Rima River floodplain to the south of Agungu, has been criticized because the reservoir threatens to flood the traditional site of the festival. Activities include craft showcases, canoe races, agricultural showcase, cultural activities, wrestling matches, musical performances, a grand fishing contest and swimming contest. On the final day of the festival, the competition is held, in which thousands of men line up along the river, and at the sound of a gunshot, all of them jump into the river and have an hour to catch the largest fish. The winner can take home as much as $7,500. Competitors are only allowed to use traditional fishing tools, and many prefer to catch fish entirely by hand. A practice also popular elsewhere and known as noodling, and this is to demonstrate their prowess.
VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice.
In a world where power shifts with every headline,
In a nation full of questions,
In a world filled with noise, the truth needs a voice.
The policies that shapes our world and the economy that determines our future.
Every hour, every day, the grapevine keeps buzzing. And together, we are committed to telling the stories that shape our world because your voice is our focus.
Don't forget, our voice matters the most. Let us come together and share our concerns.
VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to GT Fashion Weekend, and we are live here at the Landmark Center. We'll be bringing you everything sweet and trending and people looking gorgeous. And today is day one, and people are ready, coming out in their beautiful attire and looking so elegant. So stay tuned. Good evening, beautiful lady.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm fine. As you
Please,
can
that's not the
see.
energy I expected. You are in GC Fashion Weekend. It's the avenue for you to express yourself.
I'm good, as you can see now. I'm so fine.
Obviously, you have. For me to call you,
Yeah.
so I can tell you 100%. You're looking so pretty, natural.
Thank you.
And all ensemble together. Classic. So let's meet you.
Same here.
Can we meet you?
My name is Bidemi. I'm a fashion designer. I made this dress.
Come on, can you do a 360 for us? Whoa. Okay, so that's amazing. It actually looks off the rack. We never could have thought that it's made. And it's trying to make us understand that Nigerians are doing well.
Yeah,
Not just Nigeria,
we're good.
Africa, and the world at large.
Yes.
So, how's it been so far?
Well, amazing. It's my choice, so I love what I do. I love it a lot, so it's been good.
Okay, so your day one at GT Fashion Weekend, how's the experience been like for you?
Actually, I don't know. I just got here, but it's been. I like what I'm saying.
Did you register for any of the masterclass?
No.
Okay, so are you looking forward to have a one-on-one in any of the masterclass today?
Yeah. I look forward to that.
Okay, so enjoy the rest of your evening.
Hi, my name is Ifnaya. I'm a broadcast journalist. I'm also one of the radio hosts right here at the GTCO Fashion Weekend.
So how's it been so far? It's the one, and everyone is coming out in their colors and attire.
Yeah, I love how expressive we are when it comes to fashion in Nigeria. I believe that Nigeria has grown in recent time and it keeps evolving to be a fashion center for Africa and by extension the world. So just seeing people be very expressive on day one, I can't wait to see what day two has.
Okay, so looking at the fact that the way GT started, and this program has always been like, okay, come out, express yourself. People have been doing that before now. And what's that one thing, highlight, you're looking for this year?
I'm looking forward to the master classes because one thing I love about the GTCO brand is they ensure that they're giving you premium quality. They are looking through the beauty fashion industry within Nigeria and then Africa and then globally. You know, the current masterclass, Melissa, I believe, all the way from Detroit. So I love that they're bringing quality to ensure that they're impacting knowledge as well.
Okay, thank you very much. To enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thank you.
Oh my goodness, you look breathtaking. This is actually
Thank you.
well put together. So can we meet you?
Thank you.
Can we meet you?
Mature.
What do you do for a living?
I'm a fashion stylist and a designer.
You represent what?
Thank you.
So how's the experience at GT Fashion Weekend for you?
I mean, this is GT Fashion Week. We always expect the best and they always come with the best, you know. You can look around and I feel good about it though. I always feel good about fashion. So this one is not different.
Okay, so as a fashion stylist, what has it been so far? Looking at the aesthetics that people are putting together, excluding yourself, because it seems you came to win the whole Grammy Award here.
No, to me, I feel like there are no rules to fashion, and certain people have different things they represent. Okay, so I feel like fashion is a platform where you come and explore yourself. To me, it's more like art. You get it? So I see certain people, they dress simple, but I would say this is not cool because that person now has something that he's trying to show, he or she's trying to show. So looking at the whole environment, I think people just do their thing, and it really makes sense because we're not here to look alike.
Oh, definitely.
You get it? We're here to come with our own personalities. You feel me?
And you could tell that people's personalities are shining through what they're wearing.
Sure.
And yours is giving hold money vibe.
Something like that, yeah.
So like,
I like the boomers generation. So I love to transition to the old school and vintage kind of lifestyle, you know.
And it's actually very amazing.
I'm Faith, our fashion designer from Liberia.
Oh my God. So you came all the way from Liberia for this program?
No, actually not, but I have been witnessing GTCO Fashion Week for years back in Liberia, and this is my first GTCO Fashion Week. It feels like a dream because I've always wished to be on GTCO Fashion Week.
And you did well, amazingly.
Thank
Your
you.
aesthetics are superb.
Thank you.
So I assumed this is designed by you?
Yeah, this is designed by me.
Did you style yourself?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, so this is a representation of who you are?
Yeah, this is a representation of who I am, my brand, and where I come from. If you look at the back of my outfit, there's a Max description on the back of my outfit. Where I come from, we have different types of traps in Liberia. So most of my outfits, I want for people to know who I am, where I come from, and my identity. So almost all of my outfits, I usually have a Max description there, so that when people ask me, I'll be like, yeah, I'm from Liberia, and this is my culture.
Oh, that's really amazing. Yeah, and that's sweet to know that you put that together. So, as a designer, what has your experience been for looking at the aesthetics that people are pulling together here today?
Can you come again? I didn't.
Like the aesthetics people are pulling together today, like what they're wearing.
Yeah.
Everyone is identifying who they are.
Yeah.
Some are simply dressed, some are glamorously dressed, some are dressing retro, some are doing old vibe money and the likes. So, what's your own take on what they're wearing?
So whether simple, classic, bougie, or whatever people dressing, I feel like everybody have their own aesthetic. So it can be simple, it can be too high or not too high, but everybody looks good in their own way, and they are so beautiful. Yeah.
Okay. So looking at the fact that you have the semblance of gems, stones on you, are you saying that Liberia is full of riches and gems?
Yes.
She just confirmed to us that Liberia is full of riches and gems, and I'm going to go dig my hand fortune from there.
You should come to Liberia.
Is that an invite?
Yes, you are invited.
Okay, thank you very much. We hope you enjoy the rest of your evening and the day 2 of GC Fashion Weekend. Okay. So have an amazing and a blast time.
My name is Taiwo Latunji or Liomi. I'm a model and a 3D artist. And yeah, I just came here to have fun, look around, see fashionable people, like-minded people, and yeah, that's basically what I'm here.
That's good to know. What inspired your outfit?
My teachers. It's honestly like an office siren look, and I just like pinstripes. I really love the patterns. There isn't really much that inspired the jewelry. I just like this because it's really cool.
It's giving Halloween vibe.
Yeah, it's like a Halloween vibe. Yeah, so that's basically what inspired it. It's just nice and clean.
Very clean.
Thank you.
I must agree with you. You know, looking at a lot of people wearing a lot of things today, I could see some having confused fusion in their outfits. But for you, I give you that clean check because this is well assembled and it's giving classic. So thank you very much for representing well. So where are you from? Are you Nigerian?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
I'm a Nigerian.
So is this your first experience with GT Fashion Week?
Yes, this is my first time here.
So how does it feel?
It feels great. I think what I like the most is that I'm seeing a lot of like fashionable people that isn't just limited to my phone screen. Like I'm not just seeing them on Instagram. I'm seeing them. Okay, you people actually dress well in real life, like him. They're everywhere. So yeah, that's just nice.
Okay, so thank you very much. We hope you enjoy the rest of your evening and enjoy probably your day too if you're still gonna be here at GT. And we might still catch up with you.
Yeah.
My name is John Ikechukwu Agoha.
I love that. The way you sound. So what do you do for a living?
I'm a gospel artist. That's what I do.
That's
Then
interesting.
I'm a fashion consultant.
Okay, that speaks on your outfit.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so what's your experience been so like in GC Fashion Weekend?
It has been good, fun, seeing people, different class of people, categories, crazy people, normal people.
And how do people assemble together in one spot?
Yeah, in one spot. And GTB has been able to manage everyone, every Dick and Harry. It's all good.
I agree with that. Okay, so is this your first time?
This is my first time. I've never been here.
Okay, and you agree that this experience is amazing or not?
I think it's for the young ones. For the young ones, yeah.
Well, not bad, because
For the young ones.
by tomorrow, I could tell you it's for the whole money, because tomorrow we will never see on TV.
Yeah.
Because this is my 5th year, and I could tell for free. Day 1 is always, the youngsters always come out, and they always come and flex. Day 2, the whole money is then come. And at that time, even though the young ones, they know they get space like this. So today is a day to shine.
Yeah.
So let them shine. Okay, so for someone like you, that is a fashion consultant, and you've seen a lot of people's aesthetics so far, what's your take on it?
I think fashion is taking over. Fashion is taking over. It's taking over fast. But I think the only problem I have is the casts. They are not being paid what they ought to be paid. Because models, how many models make a living from modeling? I was a model when I was in school. I was a pin-up modeling, model I mean. So I could tell you when I was in school, we made more money from modeling. Right now, it's just a lot of things is happening in the modeling industry. A lot of sexuality issues and all that is happening in the modeling industry. In our time, was not like that. I don't know if they have it, but in our time, was not like that. But right, I just feel that models should make money from out of what they're doing.
Okay, hopefully the models got to make more money out of what they make. I could tell you for free that this is a crazy industry, and now people don't only pay for you because you have the physique, you have to have something good to offer.
Yes.
So thank you very much, and we hope you enjoy the rest of your evening at the GC Fashion.
My name is Anmol. I'm a content creator and I'm also a chef and a student.
So in case you want to eat, you got the right plot, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so what's your take on the GT Fashion Weekend?
Honestly, I'm just coming now, but I'm expecting colorful outfits and creativity and beauty and essence too. So I mean, there's a lot to actually witness.
Okay, so are you, is this your first year or?
Oh, this is my second time here.
Okay, so if you're going to make a compare and contrast with this, the previous year and this year, what's your take?
Okay, I came on the Sunday, like the last day. So this is my first time of like coming for the first day actually. So I'm not expecting, I know the last is always very crowded. So it's still it's beautiful. I love the aesthetics and all.
Okay, thank you very much. We hope that you get to enjoy the rest of
Oh
it.
yeah, sure. Thank you.
So what inspires your outfit?
Basically, my shoe was the main thing, and I used the shoe to be inspired.
Oh, that's actually very amazing. So, did you have anyone who designed your aesthetics, or you did it yourself?
I did it myself. It's all me.
Whoa! This is massive, guys. It's not easy. Okay, so today is day 1 of GC Fashion Weekend, and you're here. How's the experience been so far?
I just came. I can't say much, but I have been. This is like my 4th year here, and it's always been so good. So I'm expecting better this year.
Okay. Sorry that I'm going back to this, because looking at your aesthetics, it shows one thing. Which profession are you?
I'm a model. And I'm a general creative, to be honest.
You can see what I'm saying, right? You agree
I'm
with
a general creative.
Okay, so as a model, what's your take on GC Fashion Weekend?
I feel like it's the best thing since sliced bread for us models and creatives. I can't even lie, because you don't get to showcase your style that much in this country, and a place where you are allowed to do that. Anybody can be anything today, and the days where we have this GT Fashion Model Week, it's like one of the best things ever.
Okay, so kindly introduce yourself.
I am Bee, like the insect, and I do bite.
That's really amazing. Thank you for the wonderful evening. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
My name is Liz Fashion.
Oh, so what inspired your outfit?
I did. I inspired it, and this is actually my brand that I'm wearing. Liz Fashion World.
And it's the fact that you're representing the color of GT.
Right. Like I literally just planned this outfit, but when I was about to leave the house, I said, "Oh, it's GT's color."
This deserves an award.
Right.
Honestly.
GT should give me an award.
You deserve it.
Thank you.
And looking at your aesthetics is well put together. It's actually bold and it's pretty and classy. So if you would say, rate yourself on a 1 to 10.
I will rate myself 100, of course. 100 out of 10.
I agree with you because this. Trust me, when I saw you from afar, I'm like, oh my goodness, who is that beautiful, gorgeous lady? And your hair, the whole aesthetics, your lip, especially, it's quite popping, and it makes it stand out, and it makes me feel like this person understands fashion.
Yeah.
And I could see from afar. You don't have, I didn't have to ask you what you do for a living.
Right.
I could see what you're from. Well. So looking at GT Fashion Weekend, how do you feel about it?
I feel good. I feel really good, and the fact that I get to see a lot of people, witness a lot of fashion styles, it makes me feel good, honestly.
I feel good. Don't mind me. This is not me. The cuts.
This is the fun part of her.
Okay, so for someone like you, would you say you have anything you expect from GT Fashion? What to this particular season?
I've not even gone inside to see what's happening, but obviously
because
I expect
the outside
the best.
is wobbling and it's already
really,
100.
Yeah, so of course I expect the best.
The best is gonna be sad. So we're gonna say enjoy the rest of your evening and enjoy the rest of your day at GT Fashion Weekend. Hello, Your Royal Majesty.
Hello, how are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you very much. Can we meet you?
Yeah, I'm the modeling king. I project fitness, culture, and royalty. I mean, as an African, I represent all the kings in Africa, and in fact, all over the world.
Oh, so we have king of all kings in flesh. I agree with that. Okay, so what inspired your outfit?
Yeah, it's just the African masculinity. The goal was to project, every African young person or African man are warriors. So it's to project that warriorness, in the public, So, and then mixing it with the culture and then with the royalty and all, to just make the vibe more interesting. And that's why they call me the modeling king. So this is like the modeling king brand. Yeah.
Okay, that's very nice. Okay, so what do you do for a living?
What I do?
Yeah.
I mean, as I said, I'm a king, so I represent all the kings. And aside from that, I'm entertainment, fashion, models, and I do a couple of things on the side, like business,
In case you don't know, it smells rich. It's not just looking rich, it smells rich. So I'm confirming that for my audience.
I feel
for
you.
them to
I feel you.
So, is this your first time in GT Fashion Weekend?
No, it's not the first time. I was here the last time and it was all crazy. So, unfortunately, I couldn't make it up here on time, but still, I just wanted to come to show them that the vibe is still actually there, And
the vibe is very much accepted by we, the pretty ladies, on the red carpet. So, thank you very much. We hope you enjoy the rest of your day.
I better pass me my cup. I just want to have fun. I know I worry too much.
In a world where power shifts with every headlines, news breaks and events happens, we bring you unbiased and explicit information on politics, economy and state of the nation. We break down the chaos. Facts, not fluff. Truth, not spin. We discuss not just politics, but a glimpse into the future. Voice of the People Television. Now you have more than a voice.
Do you want your voice to be heard? Do you know that you matter in the scheme of things? The People's Voice, the show where ordinary citizens take center stage as we discuss the biggest stories that affect you and I. With you in mind, we facilitate lively discussions, debates, and interviews on the topics that matter most to you and I, from social justice to economic empowerment, education to healthcare, governance, and more, tackling tough topics and amplifying your voice. Join the conversation and make your voice count. The people's voice. Make your voice count.
Africa is on the move, a continent of rising voices, untold stories, and powerful transformations. From the streets of Lagos to the heart of Nairobi, from the mines of Congo to the tech labs of Cape Town, the African story is being written every day. Bold, dynamic, unstoppable. This is African News on Voice of the People Television. We don't just bring you the news. We analyze and bring you Africa's heartbeat, the politics that shapes our nations, the economies that drives our future, the cultures that defines who we are, the voice that must be heard. Africa News, Africa's voice, Africa's future. Where Africa speaks, the world listens.
VOP, Voice of the People.
Hi guys, you already know who it is. This is New Energy. Flyers wherever live. Keep watching VOP TV. Thank you.
Hi people, Ginny Albano here. Guys, please keep watching Voice of the People.
The red carpets, awards, the razzmatazz, music, fashion, interviews, and more. Spotlight on Voice of the People Television. Let's feed you with all the juicy stories in the global entertainment space, bringing you the glitz and glamour as it is hot. Stay tuned to Spotlight, 1 p.m. Monday to Friday. Spotlight on VOP TV. Entertainment like never before.
In a world where power shifts its every headlines, news breaks and events happens, we bring you unbiased and explicit information on politics, economy, and state of the nation. We break down the chaos. Facts, not fluff. Truth, not spin. We discuss not just politics, but a glimpse into the future. Voice of the People Television. Now you have more than a voice.
We encourage you to click on the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are Voice of the People TV. Also follow us on all our social media platforms. We are at VOP TV Live. Visit our website www.vop.ng for fresh and trending news. Also watch us live on SLTV channel 264. VOP TV, Voice of the People Television.
This is African News on Voice of the People Television, where we don't just bring you the news, we bring you Africa's heartbeats, the policies that shapes our world, and the economy that determines our future. African News on Voice of the People Television. Stay with us. Well, hello and welcome to the Midday News and Voice of the People Television. I am David Edwin. First, the headlines. President Tinubu arrives in Lagos following a landmark. Nigeria and the UK signs major deals on migration and visas. President Tinubu calls for nationwide unity as Muslims celebrate Eid. Sanwo-Olu congratulates Muslims on Eid al-Fitr and calls for peace. IGP orders special deployment for Eid celebrations. Government moves to end prolonged blackouts by fixing gas shortages. And in business, Shippers Council insists on dialogue as freight forwarders picket MSC. In the world of sports, illegal entry into football venues now carries a 5-year ban. In entertainment, Tony Abraham gets NFBCB's Box Office Champion Award. And now the news in full. President Bola Tinubu is back on home soil after touching down at the Murtala International Airport in the early hours of this morning. He was received by top officials, including Deputy Governor Femi Hamzat, following a historic two-day visit to the United Kingdom. The president is expected to join the Muslim faithfuls at Dodam Barracks later today to observe the Eid al-Fitr prayers. In his Salah message, he urged Nigerians to carry the lessons of piety and empathy beyond the holy month of Ramadan. His trip wasn't just ceremonial, as the president secured a major £746 million deal to refurbish two ports in Lagos. This agreement with Prime Minister Keir Starmer aims to significantly boost trade and economic cooperation between both nations. While in London, the president also met with King Charles III at Windsor Castle to reinforce the long-standing ties between Nigeria and the UK beyond infrastructure. New agreements were also signed covering defense, energy transition, and a joint plan to combat immigration crime. Meanwhile, Nigeria and the United Kingdom have signed three major agreements to tackle immigration crime and boost border security. Interior Minister Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo says the move will create a safer and more transparent migration system for both countries. The deal also includes expanded business visas for UK firms operating right here in Nigeria. Officials believe this will remove trade barriers and help drive the nation towards a $1 trillion economy. These two MOUs were finalized during President Tinubu's high-profile state visit to London this week. The partnership aims to stop the abuse of legal travel pathways while making business mobility much easier. On the economic front, the visit also secured a massive £746 million deal for Lagos ports. This funding will modernize the Apapa and Tinkan Island hubs to speed up national imports and exports. Moving on, President Bola Tinubu is urging Nigerians to embrace peace and empathy as the Muslim faithful celebrates Eid al-Fitr today. In his official message, the president noted that the lessons of selflessness, leaned towards Ramadan should guide our national life. He specifically called on citizens to extend the hand of kindness to the needy, regardless of their faith. The president believes this spirit of camaraderie is essential for the country's progress and long-term prosperity. Meanwhile, the Sultan of Sokoto has also congratulated the Umar on the successful completion of the holy month. He is encouraging sustained prayers for national development and security across the Federation. With the federal government declaring today a public holiday, security has been beefed up at various prayer grounds. Families are already gathering to mark the festivities following a month of spiritual reflection and fasting. Moving on, governors across the country are congratulating the Muslim faithfuls today as they celebrate the end of the holy month of Ramadan. The state leaders are calling for collective responsibility to tackling the nation's security and developmental changes. In Oyo State, Governor Seyi Makinde urged citizens to remain vigilant and report any suspicious activities to security agencies during the festivities. Similarly, Borno State Governor Babagana Zulum reaffirmed his commitment to ending insurgency while celebrating the spirit of renewal. Up north, Governor Dauda Lawal of Zamfara and Governor Uba Sani of Kaduna State both emphasized the need for interfaith harmony. They noted that the shared values of patience and empathy are crucial for strengthening unity across religious divides. From Rivers to Ogun State, the message remains consistent. Nigerians must cherish their diversity and promote mutual respect. Governors are encouraging everyone to celebrate responsibly while keeping the less privileged in their thoughts and prayers. And here in Lagos, the state governor, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, has congratulated Muslim faithfuls in Lagos and across Nigeria on the celebration of Eid al-Fitr following the completion of Ramadan. In a statement issued by his special advisor on media and publicity, Boyega Akosile, the governor praised Muslims for their prayers, sacrifices, and devotion during the holy month. Sanwo-Olu urged them to continue to uphold the values of peace, compassion, generosity, and support for the poor and vulnerable, which he described as key virtues of Ramadan. He also called on Nigerians to pray for peace, unity, and stability in the country and to work together for the growth and development of Lagos State and Nigeria. Meanwhile, as Muslims around the world celebrate Eid al-Fitr, the Sultan of Sokoto and the federal government of Nigeria have called for unity, peace, and compassion among citizens. The celebration marks the end of the 2026 Ramadan fast, a period of reflection, sacrifice, and devotion for the Muslim faithfuls. VOP TV's Matthew Ogunswada has more in this report.
Sultan of Sokoto, Alhaji Muhammad Saeed Abubakar, has declared Friday, March 20, 2026, as the first day of Shawwal, marking the celebration of Eid al-Fitr across Nigeria. The announcement follows the non-sighting of the new crescent moon, signaling the end of the holy month of Ramadan. The Sultan congratulated Muslims nationwide on the successful completion of the Ramadan fast, urging continued prayers for national unity, peace, and development. Meanwhile, the Minister of Interior, Olubunmi Tunji Ojo, has called on Nigerians to celebrate responsibly and extend acts of kindness to the less privileged. Eid al-Fitr, a festival of gratitude, reflection, and generosity, holds deep spiritual significance for millions of Muslims, marking the end of a month of fasting, sacrifice, and devotion. Voice of the People TV spoke to Nigerians on the significance of the celebration and what it means to them.
Eid al-Fitr is the celebration that marks the end of Ramadan, and it is a celebration for us to improve our spiritual growth, give alms to the poor, giving sadaqah to the poor. And we also go to the mosques to Eid to celebrate the end of our Ramadan fasting, where we pray to God to ensure peace, unity in the country. We also celebrate by having food. We have feast with our families. We share love and joy among ourselves.
We thank God for this Eid al-Fitr that met us in good health. And to those that are still struggling to survive in one way or the other, we pray that next year it will be better for them. So we pray that this time around, by the time we are celebrating this another Eid al-Fitr, Nigeria will be better off. Presently, many of us are having difficulties due to this petroleum issue, but we pray that by next year it will not be so. So we wish our Muslim brethren a happy Eid al-Fitr, all their families, and we that are celebrating with them, we pray that God will secure us the next year.
Alhamdulillah that we started and this is the end of the Ramadan. So the benefits of Ramadan is we all seek for forgiveness. We pray Allah forgive every one of us because each time we commit sin, so we pray for forgiveness. Then after Ramadan, we have to go to Eid, and that is we crown it all. Everything is just to say Astaghfirullah, and the advice I give everyone is after this Ramadan, we should continue good things that we have been doing. We should set aside all the bad things we have been doing, and we should even forget about it. We should not go back to the bad things that will make us commit more sin. So it's as if we have bad and we are clean.
So thank God, and as well it's a time to pray for Nigeria, and at the same time the government should also secure the mosque, the churches, and everywhere people are gathering. Because people that terrorists always want to take advantage of the gathering of many people. to be able to kill a lot of people. So they should equip them, they should not be carried away by the fanfare.
As Muslims in Nigeria join millions across the world to celebrate Eid al-Fitr, the message remains one of peace, love, compassion, and forgiveness for all. Matthew Ogunswada, reporting for Voice of the People Television.
Thank you so very much, Matthew, for that report. Moving on to other stories, the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Betokun, has ordered special security deployment across the country ahead of the Eid al-Fitr celebration. Commissioners of police and tactical commanders have been directed to strengthen security at Eid prayer grounds and other key public places. The Police High Command says the Special Intervention Squad and conventional officers will also be deployed to highways, motor parks, recreational centers, and critical infrastructure. According to the Force Public Relations Officer, DCP Antonio Cone Placid, the operation will include visible policing, patrol surveillance, and intelligence-led stop-and-search duties to prevent crime and report quickly to threats. The IGP also congratulated Muslim faithfuls on the successful end of Ramadan and urged Nigerians to remain vigilant and report suspicious activities to security agencies. Well, we do apologize for that first mix-up there. The IG of police is Tunde Diso. All right, moving on to other stories. Nigeria has disassociated itself from what it termed controversial concepts and terminologies in the outcome document of the 70th session of the Commission on the Status of Women, that's the CSW 70, led by Charge d'Affaires Permanent Missions of Nigeria to the United Nations Ambassador Sindorf Edoni. The country's delegation also raised strong objection to the adoption process of CSW 70 outcome document, stating that the development raises broader sovereignty concerns, particularly in policy-sensitive areas. Such expressions include multiple and intersecting forms of discrimination, universal access to sexual and reproductive health, gender stereotypes, all forms of discrimination, and diverse situations, contexts, and conditions as used in the document. Nigeria further objected to references to gender-responsive approaches in justice-related budgeting, arguing that the interpretation and application of terms must remain consistent with national laws, cultural, and religious values. According to Ndoni, Nigeria does not align with the introduction of new or expanded terminology that may give rise to controversial interpretations. The delegation cautioned that such language could create obligation beyond those contained in globally agreed frameworks. Meanwhile, the federal government says it is taking concrete steps to resolve the gas supply crisis that has left many parts of the country in darkness. Power Minister Adebayo Adelabu confirmed that the new interventions are being rolled out to clear the debts owed to gas suppliers. Currently, power generation has dropped below 4,000 megawatts because thermal plants aren't getting enough fuel to operate. The minister is appealing for patience, noting that these reforms are necessary building blocks for a more stable electricity sector. Data from the system operator shows that plants are receiving less than half of the gas they actually need to run at full capacity. This shortfall has been worsened by an estimated 3 trillion naira debt currently clogging the power value chain. The government remains optimistic that recent diplomatic engagements in the UK will also attract fresh investment into national infrastructure. For now, consumers are being urged to support these transactions to the Ministry of Works to stabilize the grid. We're glad to have you back. It is still the midday news right here on Voice of the People television. We'll go straight to the analysis segment of the news. And joining us now to make sense of these stories and more in the studio with us is Mr. Dele Fanimo, a seasoned reporter and also public and political affairs analyst and commentator. A very good afternoon to you, Mr.
Good afternoon,
Fanimo.
David.
For joining the conversation. Also joined us virtually is Mr. Oladare Ogunshola. Mr. Oladare is a public and political affairs analyst and commentator. A very good afternoon to you, Mr. Oladare. Thank you for joining the conversation this afternoon. Well, we would love you to unmute your mic, Mr. Dare, so that we can get your audio feed clearly. Well, while we wait for Mr. Oladare Bushala, we also do have joined us virtually Sheikh Abdul Fattah Sulaiman. Sheikh is the Islamic cleric, and of course, on this table, we definitely will be having him talk more on the festive period that we found ourselves. Sheikh, a very good afternoon to you, and thank you for joining the conversation this afternoon. Well, Sheikh Fattah, if you can, help us unmute your mic so we can hear you clearly.
In the studio. Salam alaikum to all my Muslim brothers and sisters.
Wa alaikum salam. Well, a very good afternoon to you, and thank you for joining the conversation. I want to start off this conversation with you, Sheikh. I mean, it's a season of celebration for Muslim faithfuls, I dare say celebration. But what I want to find out from you, and of course, we want you to, shed more light on the part of the Ramadan, spiritual significance. What is the spiritual significance of Ramadan for Muslim faithfuls and even generally world over?
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Ramadan is like an institution where we receive, we have courses, and the courses has been treated. So after the Ramadan, you have to achieve one or two courses, and most of the courses in the institution, they are core courses. So that means everything we learn from Ramadan, they are important that we need to work on. So let me just say, Ramadan is an institution that teaches us how to live our life in general. That's it.
All right, then. Well, I like the fact that you actually spoke about Ramadan, but the question that comes to mind again is, how would Muslims assess whether their Ramadan was spiritually successful? Because some would be, clogged in that doubt. How can they carefully assess whether their Ramadan was spiritually successful?
The only way you can assess that is by looking at yourself, your heart, your mind. Were you able to utilize what you learned from Ramadan? What have you done to your neighbor? What have you done to the family? What have you done to yourself? Most especially, did you increase your worship with your Creator, Almighty Allah? How is your heart been before Ramadan? How was it during Ramadan? And after Ramadan, is there any increase in your faith? So once your faith has improved spiritually, then that means your Ramadan is successful.
All right then.
But once your faith is drained or not increasing, so that means you have problem with your Ramadan. You still need to learn more. You still need to be closer to God, and you still need to closer to the cleric so that they can emphasize, they can explain, they can give you a tutorial that will befit your heart and that will uplift your spirit.
All right, then, Sheikh. It's the Eid al-Fitr celebration today, but questions have been raised about what it represents in Islam for the benefit of those who do not even understand what it means, and why is it considered a day of celebration after a month of fasting?
Ramadan, as I've said, Ramadan is an institution. In any institution, you have to graduate. The graduation, after the graduation, you have to implement what you've learned from the institution. So each is the momentum of reflection of what you've learned from Ramadan. So one of the courses that is important in Ramadan is teaching how to be patient, how to give, how to be good to your neighbor, how to be a good person in the environment. So that means each is when you are going to use what you've learned from Ramadan, like patience. You sit under the sun, under the hot sun. If you can endure, if you can take your time, that means what you learned from Ramadan is reflecting in you. Then you have to give out, like Sadaqatul Fitri, taking from your money to give to the less privileges is part of it. Then meeting your Muslim brothers and sisters and celebrate with them. Those that you know that they are not wealthy like you are, you have to make them happy by, even if you don't have money to give to them, you have to tell them you have to advise them, encourage them, and let them feel let them feel that they are also human like you. Don't take them like an animal. So if you can use all that, that is the reason for the Eid. We want us to meet together, talk together, rejoice together, and know who is in need. If you can assist, you do. If you cannot assist, you advise the person so that it will know that there is hope in the nearest future.
All right, then. Sheikh, before I let you go, 2 questions in one, and I will expect you to lump up your answers together. And my question now would be, what role does the Eid play in promoting forgiveness and reconciliation? What role does the Eid play in promoting forgiveness and reconciliation? Then the second part of my question would be, on the part of leadership, what would a sheikh like you tell the leadership of Nigeria, who again is seeing you as spiritual leaders, and of course can want to get some level of advice from spiritual leaders like yourself?
The role that it plays is you have the opportunity of meeting a cleric that will talk to you and guide you and give you way that Almighty Allah wants us to walk through. Then secondly, my advice to the leaders, most especially the leaders of Nigeria or the leader in Islam, is that we have to steadfast. If you are balanced, you'll be able to control, to guide your followers. If you are not balanced, it's going to have a negative effect. So what we really need is steadfastness. Once the leaders are not straightforward, you can never guide in the righteous way.
All right, then.
So we just need to be balanced.
All right, then. Well, I would not balance this conversation without allowing you talk to the followership as well. You have just spoken to the leadership, but on the part of followership, what would be your advice for the Muslim faithfuls who, again, at a time like this, are celebrating the Eid today. Some also are not having what to eat. Some are struggling to find their feet. What can be your advice to these followers of the Muslim faithful?
My first advice is that all the Muslim brothers and sisters, you have to love your leaders. If you don't love someone, you can never seek advice from him. If you don't believe in your leader, you can never follow. The only way you can succeed in this religion of ours, Islam, is by loving your leader so that you can listen and accept whatever he's saying. If you don't love them, you can never seek advice and accept whatever they say. So first thing the followers should need is by loving the leaders so that whatever they are saying will be what you want or what you like or what you will accept or what you will do. So that is just it. And if you don't have money, money is not everything. Continue worshiping, continue praying. You need prayer. You need maybe sin is one of the factors that disturb humanity to grow spiritually and in wealth. So if you can be prayerful, seek forgiveness every day, day and night, then you will reach your destination and you will achieve your goal.
All right, then. Thank you so very much, Sheikh Abdul Fattah Suleiman, for joining the analysis segment of the Midday News this afternoon. Sheikh Abdul Fattah is an Islamic cleric and also thank you so very much for being here as well. We'll go straight to talking some political stories, and I'm going to bring that conversation to the studios here. Interestingly, Mr. Fanimo, the federal government says it is taking concrete steps to resolving the gas supply crisis that has left many parts of the country in darkness. I mean, Power Minister Adebayo Adelabu clearly said that there are new interventions that are being rolled out to clear the debts being owed to gas suppliers. I mean, this debt has gone to unbelievably tune of trillions of naira. Now, looking at the fact that right now, as we speak, Nigeria is operating a very, very low minimal of about 4,000 megawatts. How much of an impact is this reduction in megawatts going to have on the economy of the country as we speak?
I was wondering when you read that report and they say 4,000 megawatts. That's not true. We've been battling with between 2,000, 2,005 megawatts in the last 3 weeks.
So, in other words, the stats rolled out by the minister seem to be
an exaggerated figure. It's an exaggerated figure. Where I live in Ibadan, I'm a band A.
Okay.
And cumulatively, in the last 3 weeks, we've not had up to 48 hours in 1 month. In 3 weeks, yes. Sometimes they just beep us to announce that they are there so that you don't use their cables as your line when you want to spread your clothes.
But the narrative seems to be different in Lagos. Is there some specific areas
specific areas will be. That's why I said it's now a question of rationing. Some people, because of their businesses, they require more energy than domestic users. And so, most of the time they bring electricity to my area now is probably in the night, and maybe a weekend, where you can enjoy some level of comfort when you are sleeping. And then to ensure that if they bring their estimated bills, there won't be uproar, there won't be a pushback. But generally speaking, Togo is begging us to give them energy. And we are the owner, we can't get energy. Is that not a paradox? It is. And I've said this about 3 or 4 times here. thermal stations are supposed to be backup stations. You rely more, particularly in a developing country like this, you rely more on hydro energy. Because one hydro power station can supply what 10 thermal stations will supply.
Right.
The average thermal station supply will be between 250 and 450. But do you know that?
And of course, thereby giving that limitation of a generation as well.
You understand? Whereas an hydro station can supply up to 3,500 megawatts. Is that not almost times 10? And the capital outlay. You don't use gas for hydropower. You rely on water and dam. Mambila hydropower. The sword was turned by Obasanjo during his administration. Obasanjo left 19 years ago. And that place is supposed to give us 3,350 megawatts. Up to now, nobody is talking about it. It's an abandoned project. Abandoned because the contractor that was assigned that job to do was blacklisted when Okonjo-Iweala was in World Bank. Before that contract was given. And Okonjo-Iweala was in the saddle when that contract, she couldn't remember that that contractor had been blacklisted by World Bank. And that had effectively stalled that project in the last 19 years. Imagine if Kanji is giving us over 2,000 megawatts and Shiroro Dam is giving us like maybe 1,500. Mabila is giving us like 3,000.
Is that for a project is given about 100 megawatts, thereabouts?
What is 100 megawatts compared to, I'm talking about 3,000, 3,500.
But these are the projects that the governments consistently celebrate that they put up. So should we also ignore the fact that there are some tiny feeds coming in from those?
You rely on power to fire thermal plants. And once there is shortage of gas, it becomes idle. And because of the current war, there had been shortage of gas. Russia produces gas. And is it not even instructive that in this country today, if you know the number of cubic meters that is being flared in Niger Delta 24/7, that are supposed to be converted to what we are lacking now, then you will know that Nigeria is a paradox.
Now, I like the fact that you brought up this part of gas flaring, and concerns are being raised about what the presidency has, have up its sleeve, because sometime before he got into office, he did say, if I do not give you consistent power supply for my second term, don't vote me into office. Now, this looks like political rhetoric, like some persons would say, but the part of not looking inward in terms of not looking for a way to harnessing our hydro power plants to giving us more power for a country like Nigeria, isn't that something that some would say lacks total political will? Because we're talking debts of about 3 trillion naira being owed by these operators.
You see, the annoying part of all of this is these are people that have traveled around the world. They see how things work. Did you know that in today's world, the volume of cars on the highway generates electricity? I'm sure you are not. You must have been aware of this. As little as just laying cable under a road, and you are drawing power to power homes and industry. Nuclear power is there. Even those dumps generate power.
Not to talk of coal.
You see, the point is, we major on the minor and we minor on the major.
Well, this part of majoring on the minor is one that I also want to take you on. The minister did say that the government remains optimistic that this recent diplomatic engagement with the UK will also attract fresh investments into the national infrastructure, one of which again is power sector. And I dare ask, where and how is that going to happen on the part of power generation in Nigeria?
You see, we don't have much problem with power generation.
And we're not generating.
Most times, the GenCos, they generate far above what can be transmitted through the transmission lines. Manitoba came, they didn't allow you to work. Siemens is here. I don't know if they have taken flight back to Germany. How can you have GenCos generating 7,500 megawatts and you cannot wheel up to 5,000 out of it? Yet you are claiming that you are subsidizing the generating companies. They are bringing bills of about 6 trillion and you have paid about 3 out of these 6, and yet we are still suffering. The only reason why you talk about Lagos being better off is that most industrial concerns had left the national grid. They either power their factories with generators, solar power, and alternative energy. That's why you still have semblance of some measure of steady power supply in Lagos. Let them bring their industrial concerns, let them bring up on the national grid. You find out that the 2,000 we are talking about, only a fraction will be left.
So because of the fact that some of these industrial companies have their own alternative power.
Yes,
so,
that's why you still have light in your homes. That's why. Go and do a survey in Ikeja, Ogba. Those are industrial parks. Go and find out. You find out that you see their generator roaring.
Now, Mr. Fanimo, I like the fact that you've taken time to talk about how much of a major lacuna we've gotten over time from the generating and, of course, the distribution. Now, as a person who truly desire that, again, the country gets better with power, what do you think the government can do? Some have said accountability is key. Should the government clearly say that there is a state of emergency on power? Thus, we should deal with it decisively by having other means, which again we've mentioned here, some of it. Do you think that that might help? Should they embark on it at all?
You see, Buhari did one thing which can be credited as one of the few pluses he recorded before he left government. He was able to remove power from the exclusive list of the Constitution, and now it's on concurrent list. Between when Buhari left government and now, it's about 3 years. How many state governments had cashed in on this? None.
Maybe a little of Abia State?
You see, when these people talk is cheap. They tell you what is not on ground. And the media, through inducement of whatever means, help them amplify it. There was a time I was so excited about this Abia governor. And I was showcasing it to somebody who's from that state. He put a call through to about 5 indigenes. None of them could affirm those things that the man claimed he has done.
Oh, well, that again is a major conversation. But because of our time, really, we have to draw anchor on the analysis segment. Well, we'll be talking with Mr. Dele Fanimo, a seasoned reporter right here in Nigeria, and also a public and political affairs analyst and commentator. Thank you so very much for the time.
It's always my pleasure.
We'll take a very short break right now. When we return, more stories on the midday news will be up next. Please to stay with us.
Cause
Ibadan Straight. We're glad to have you back. And it's still the media news right here in Voice of the People Television. Now to other stories and business stories. The Nigerian Shippers Council, that's the NSP, has called on freight forwarders to embrace dialogue as a constructive means of resolving their grievances rather than industrial actions that could undermine the economy. NSC Executive Secretary and Chief Executive Officer Dr. Akuta Pius made the appeal to freight forwarders over their ongoing picketing of the Mediterranean Shipping Company, MSC, in protest against its recent increase in shipping line tariffs. Regretting that the aggrieved freight forwarders have dialogued forward, vowing rather to continue the protest until the tariff increase are reversed. Akuta stressed that dialogue remains the most effective and modern dispute resolution mechanism, noting that it is faster, more humane, and more productive than what he described as a bottled anger approach. He warned that prolonged industrial disputes within the maritime sector could disrupt port operations and negatively impact trade and economic activities. While acknowledging stakeholders' rights to express their concern, the Council condemned as unprofessional the act of blocking regulators from assessing the MSC premises to address the matter. He reiterated the Council's commitment to mediating between shipping companies and freight forwarders to ensure their practices and stability within the maritime industry. From business, we move straight talking sports. Football fans in England and Wales are being warned that sneaking into stadiums without a ticket is now a criminal offense. The new law targets tailgaters and those using fake IDs, with offenders facing fines up to £1,000. The English FA introduced these strict measures just ahead of this weekend's Carabao Cup final at Wembley. Officials say the goal is to prevent a repeat of the chaotic scenes witnessed during the Euro 2020 final. Safety experts previously warned that illegal entries through disabled access gates and emergency exits could lead to fatal accidents. This legislation finally gives police the specific tools they need to arrest and eject troublemakers instantly. As the UK prepares to co-host Euro 2028, authorities are making it clear that stadium security is a top priority. Anyone caught forcing their way in can expect to be barred from the beautiful game for the next 5 years. And to wrap up the media news, we'll go straight talking entertainment. The National Film and Video Censors Board has honored actress and filmmaker Tony Abraham with a Box Office Champion Award in recognition of her film Over Sabi Auntie, surpassing the £1 billion mark at the Nigerian box office. The feat makes Abraham the first debut director to gross over £1 billion in cinemas. The executive director of the board, Shuaib Hussaini, described the milestone as historic for Nollywood, saying it is an excellent and remarkable achievement within Nigeria's film industry. Hussaini said the achievement reflects the resilience and global potential of Nollywood, adding that it was not only a personal triumph, but also a testament to the industry's growing strength. Commending Abraham for inspiring a new generation of filmmakers, the board said she has entertained millions and encouraged others to dream bigger. And with that entertainment story, we've come to the end of the media news right here on Voice of the People Television. Do well to subscribe to our YouTube channel. On YouTube, we're at Voice of the People TV, and on all other social media platforms, we are at VOPTV Live. Thank you so very much for being a part of this broadcast. I am David Edwin. You have a good afternoon.
VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice.
This is African News on Voice of the People Television, where we don't just bring you the news, we bring you Africa's heartbeat, the policies that shapes our world, and the economy that determines our future. Africa News on Voice of the People Television. Stay with us.
My name is Tao Familoni, and here's to VOP TV. Keep watching, stay tuned, do not touch that dial.
Arararara, my name is Made Kuti, and you're watching VOP TV. Keep watching.
Welcome, my name is Zika Davis. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, boys, viewers, everybody, boys and girls. This is VOP TV. Do you know what that means? Voice of the People TV. You don't have a voice, don't come here. You better make sure your voice is heard.
This is Health Check, your weekly guide to better living, smarter choices, and trusted answers. From everyday wellness to urgent health issues, we've got you covered. Health Check, only on Voice of the People Television, where your health has a voice.
Behind every broken desk lies a broken promise. Education shapes the nations. But who is asking the right questions? Introducing Edu Dialogue, the show that goes beyond the surface, exposes the cracks, the corruption, and the silence in Nigeria's education system. Edu Dialogue, Saturdays, 3 p.m., only on VOP TV. We break the biggest stories, from missing funds to policy failures. We ask the tough questions and demand real answers. Edu Dialogue, this Saturday, 3 p.m. on Voice of the People Television.
We encourage you to click on the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are Voice of the People TV. Also follow us on all our social media platforms. We are at VOP TV Live. Visit our website www.vop.ng for fresh and trending news. Also watch us live on SLTV channel 264. VOP TV, Voice of the People Television.
In a world where power shifts its every headlines, news breaks and events happens, we bring you unbiased and explicit information on politics, economy, and state of the nation. We break down the chaos. Facts, not fluff. Truth, not spin.